episode of Take It From Tara. We talk about episodes because our lives are like a reality show here at Crescent Hill Radio. And I am so grateful to be here on this beautiful Monday, proudly wearing my Cardinal red, even though I do cheer for blue sometimes. I have to admit it. I'm very excited about the game tonight. I know you are too. We have a great lineup of guests, and two of them are going to be performing for us throughout the entire hour. Rachel Monroe and Jonathan Mitchell. We're so glad to have them with us. Give me a little play under music there, Jonathan, while I introduce the show. This show is brought to you by Tammy and Tabby Lewis-Conti for An Act of Dog. And our guests tonight, of course, include musical guest Rachel Monroe and her bandmate and friend Jonathan Mitchell. We're so glad to have them with us. Author Rick Robinson is going to be up first. He is the newest author of Alligator Alley, and I tell you what, he's got a whole bunch of books. He's an award-winning author and attorney. Can't wait to hear from him. Andy Bleeden is in the house to talk to us about commercial real estate and the state of the Frankfort Avenue Bardstown Road and Butchertown corridors as he has witnessed them since 1984. The Mighty Earth Day Hoot is on the schedule for this weekend. Can't wait to hear more about that from Angela Impellizzeri. And two young and extraordinarily promising filmmakers are in the house with us tonight, Catherine Furrow and Herschel Zond, and their new film project, Breath of Heaven. It's actually filming here in Louisville and in southern Indiana. And my favorite guest, I hate to say it, and I just have to say it in front of you all, is Sirius Lee Black. He's the biggest, most beautiful pit bull from Slugger City Bully Buddies, and his mom, Caroline Kaufman, is happy to be with him here tonight to talk about all that Slugger City is doing to help with those bully breeds that really get a bad rap. All this on CrescentHillRadio.com. And if you haven't become a member of this not-for-profit public radio station yet, here's your opportunity. You can join for $25 a year. That is nothing in comparison to what you have to pay to become members of other organizations. The benefits are that you get free admission to our wonderful Crescent Hill Radio Derby kickoff, which is taking place the Sunday before Derby. It's the 28th. It's from 4 to 10 p.m. at a great venue called Expo 5, which we will all be so excited to see you at. And I'm going to be introducing all of the bands, including Appalachian, Korean Hetty, Discount Guns, Robbie Bartlett, Trappers Keepers, Memphis Beck and Friends, Bridge 19, and Anton Mink, and some other special, exciting guests to be announced very soon. So join now, get free admission. There's going to be a cash bar and food, 2 different stages, ample parking, and a wonderful opportunity for you to help raise funds for Crescent Hill Radio, which is our little project. It's a public radio station, and we have internet capability. We're going for an FM license later this year, but we right now have a great signal in Crescent Hill. So if you are in the corridor where you can pick it up, we hope you're listening. If not, we hope you've got your iPad, iPod, laptop, computer, or other Wi-Fi device tuned to us tonight on Take It From Tara. So, Rachel and Jonathan, thank you for that wonderful music. I appreciate it. So good to see you guys.
I know. I feel, and you know, me and Tara used to work together not too long ago.
We did.
It's like a reunion. I'm so happy to see you.
I am so happy to see you, and I always have enjoyed your beautiful music, and I've many times tuned in on your Facebook page and listened to you singing and playing, and you just have the most naturally beautiful voice, Rachel.
Thank you.
What do you want to do with your music?
You know, I really hope that it's something that I get to do for, you know, the rest of my life as long as I possibly can. My father was... He was very involved with music, and I kind of grew up around it. The late Michael Monroe.
Wow.
And just, you know, kind of grew up around it, and it's close to my heart, and it's what I love to do. So.
How old are you, Rachel?
I'm 22.
Wow. She's starting out young. And Jonathan, you guys are bandmates?
We are. We play in a band called Nellie Pearl together.
Nellie Pearl. I love that. And how long have you been playing? Because you knew all the folks at Crescent Hill Radio. You've probably been around here before.
I've been here a couple times.
I love the fact that you guys are playing together. You have a great sound, and we'll be coming back to talk to you and get some music from you in just a few minutes, okay?
All right.
Rachel and Jonathan. Welcome, Rick Robinson.
Hey, great to be here.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for driving in from Cincinnati area tonight to talk to us about your new and fantastic book, Alligator Alley. And, you know, you've had... 30 years in the law, and you've done so much with that law degree, as we just talked about.
Well, you know, I'm somebody who's gotten everything that I could possibly get out of a law degree. I've been a litigator. I worked on Capitol Hill. I've been a business lawyer. Now I'm using it to go out and write novels.
That's fantastic.
So that's the latest thing that I'm doing with it.
I have a very clear recollection of you, actually, when you were working for Senator Jim Bunning years ago. on Capitol Hill? Because I think you were his chief counsel, right?
I was
Legislative director?
chief counsel and legislative director to Jim Budding when he was up on Capitol Hill, and that's the thing. When I first started out writing, I wanted to write this great coming of age novel, and that's the joke around my house. My children always say that Dad tried to write a coming of age novel, but couldn't get past the third chapter. And so I started my writing career writing political thrillers.
Yes, you did. Lots of cloak and dagger.
Lots of cloak and dagger, but I still had this story that had been floating around my head since I had been in high school, and I had met Jesse Stewart.
Oh, yes. That's one of the greatest writers in Kentucky, I believe.
The greatest Kentucky writer of all time,
That's
in
right.
my mind's eye, and had not been nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. And when I was in high school, I got to be a gopher for him for a day when he was in northern Kentucky, and I got this idea in the back of my head for a story, and it literally hung back there for 30 years.
Amazing.
I started the writing career, started doing political thrillers, decided to give my characters in the series a book off for, as I say, get a better haircut and some psychotherapy.
And we're talking about books like Manifest Destiny. That was named Best Fiction at the Paris and New York Book Festivals and was honored as an Independent Book of the Year.
Yes.
So that was just one of them. And you've been an Amazon #1 top seller, which is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
So this book is a complete departure.
But that's just it. It's a complete departure from
Yeah.
that. It's a complete departure from. So imagine going into your publisher,
Yes,
and saying, "I know we've done really well with this series, but I'd like to totally change everything."
exactly.
And go into a
they
whole new
probably looked
genre.
at you like, okay.
And then I started telling her the story, and then I started telling her the idea that I have for it and how I wanted it to set up. And luckily for me, I have a wonderful publisher, Kathy Tietz at Headline Books in West Virginia, and she decided that she would give it a shot, and it's turned out okay. It's a little different. Again, there's no cloak and dagger. It's first person instead of third person, so there's a lot of changes in it that were really kind of uncomfortable when I was doing them. But it's so far it's getting pretty good acceptance.
Well, it's getting great reviews, and it has to do, particularly in the first few moments that you're reading, you realize it is a coming-of-age novel because the character is turning 50.
Coming of age at age 50.
As we all have.
Coming of age at
recently.
age 50.
And you really have put a touch on this. And you just were joking with me about texting and putting stuff on Facebook. You said you've become a social media nerd. So's the character in the book. James, talk to us a little bit about the background of Alligator Alley, because there's everything from Indian reservations to spiritual causes to burning funeral pyres in this book.
Well, the story originates in large part from my great uncle, and this memories that I have of him. My great uncle was one of these guys that loved to fish, one of these great Kentucky sportsmen. And one day his wife said to him, this is back in the 50s when this didn't happen, but his wife said to him, "Chip, you got to make up your mind. It's me or the fish." So he left her.
Oh my God!
True story. and moved to the Everglades and lived on a Seminole Indian reservation.
And wrestled gators, apparently.
And wrestled alligators.
Wow.
and everything along the way. And in fact, there's a story in the book about him bringing back 2 alligators.
Yes.
That ended up getting loose in Devou Park in northern Kentucky, and that's a true story. The articles that are in the book that document that are actually real articles from the Kentucky Times-Star.
That's amazing.
That I just reprinted and put different names in them. So a little bit of truth. That's what I think. For my musical friends here, Warren Zevon said that for songwriters there was and story writers there was no such thing as fiction.
That's right.
Everything has a bit of truth in it, and that's somewhat true for Alligator Alley.
Well, and what I really love about it is the fact that reviewers are comparing this book. I don't know if you've read these reviews to Huckleberry Finn and Catcher in the Rye. That's pretty heady company.
Pretty heady company, and the book won the. One of the things that was nice is the book, before it actually even came out, based on the advanced readers, won the Great Southeast Book Festival. I went down to New Orleans a couple weeks ago to get the award for that. And it really was, I certainly don't think I'm in any category with Catcher in the Rye or any of those
You never know.
books.
It's pretty gripping.
But it was nice for me to see that some of the people who are giving it a critical read put me a little bit at ease that it was going to be accepted.
How was it for you making that switch, literally, from the cloak and dagger to the much more intimate look inside? And some of your characters' traits are obviously your own and based upon your life history and your family history. What was the switch like? How was it making that change?
Well, a lot of the political side was the same thing, and
Yes.
that a lot of the stories that are in the political books are things that I lived in on the campaign trail. But as you went into this, it was much more personal, much more introspective as I took a look at it. And one of the things I thought about in writing the book was my friend Kevin Kelly, who's a great visual artist who lives up in northern Kentucky. Whenever he would do it with some of these pieces, I would look at him and I say, well, what does it mean?
That's right.
And his response to me was, well, what do you think it means?
That sounds like psychotherapy to me.
Well,
what does it mean? How do you feel?
Well, suddenly I'm feeling that same way. People are coming up to me and people are getting emotions out of this book that I never intended them to have, but they're finding rise up because of it. There are people that are coming up and saying, "Oh, I got this, I got that," and that's been one of the cool things about it, is that it meant one thing to me.
Yes.
Because of the personal experience I had with a lot of the stories, but to other people, it's bringing out emotions and thoughts and places where they are right now, places where they've been, places where things they could have done or want to do. One of the greatest things that I had was one of my advanced readers that I sent it to and said, "Tell me what you think," called me up halfway through the book and said, "I just realized it's not too late for me."
That's amazing.
And I went, "Wow, that was." Something that, emotions that you're getting out of this book are not just mine, they're emotions you're eliciting out of other people.
Yeah, one of those unintended consequences, as they say. And, I love the fact that your character realized that things could change. And I'm not going to give away any of the endings.
If you could change, would you?
I got a proof of the book, and it was really fantastic. And I've been promised a real book because I love reading real books as opposed to the electronic versions. But you do have a surprise at the end, which is not really a surprise. You kind of expect it, but it's a kind of a cool way to do it. And the question is asked, if you could make that change, if you could make a drastic change, would you?
Yeah, the main character is given the magic wand.
Yes.
And not metaphysically. He's literally given it, and he has to sit back and decide what he's going to do. And that's it's funny you say, and again, I won't give the ending away.
It's very hard not to give the ending away.
But it surprised my publisher. My publisher called me and she said, "I never saw that coming."
That's amazing.
So that was fun.
Okay, Alligator Alley is available freely online. I mean, you can get it at Amazon. You can get it at all kinds of places. Is it actually in the bookstores at this point?
It is not in the bookstores yet. It just shipped on Friday from the printer. Because of the award, they moved up the publication date. So it shipped from that. But it is available right now on Kindle and Nook. You can get it the electronic versions.
Excellent.
I'm not a big fan of that. As you know, I'd much rather have the paper, and I'd much rather you go down to Carmichael's down the street.
Yes.
Or some of the great bookstores that we have here in Louisville and get it from them. And if they don't have it, demand it. Ask them why they don't.
They can order it, and we can get it. And Carmichael's is the best local bookstore.
I love Carmichael's.
Obviously. And also, just so you guys out there in the studio lobby know, Rick had some of our Heine Brothers coffee. He walked past Carmichael's bookstore. He's gotten a real kind of immersion in Frankfort Avenue while he's been here to visit us. And we thank you for taking time to drive all the way from Cincinnati to visit with us tonight.
Thanks for having me down. I
so
appreciate
nice
it very
to meet
much.
you, and I hope the ink is still not quite dry on my autographed copy of Alligator Alley.
It will be on its way down next week, I promise.
Richard Robinson, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Okay, you guys, get ready because I'm going to have you play in just a moment. But first, our thanks to Tammy and Tabby Lewis Conti for sponsoring Take It From Tara via promoting An Act of Dog. Mark Baroni is on a mission. The artist is well on his way to painting the portraits of 5,500 dogs who have been euthanized in shelters across America, as a way to symbolize the number of dogs who lose their lives in shelters every single day. Mark and his partner Marina Durbin have dedicated their lives to creating An Act of Dog here at the Melwood Arts Center, and you are challenged to become part of the effort to make it a permanent installation as a memorial museum right here in Louisville. Find out how you can make a difference in the lives of shelter animals at anactofdog.org. Sponsored by Tammy and Tabby Lewis Conti. Oh, my goodness. We have so many things going on in our studio today, and I have a wonderful guest. And his name is Sirius Lee Black, and he's so black that he has to wear a red collar and a red kerchief so that he can actually be seen. And so my question is going to be, Caroline Kaufman, how can I keep Sirius? Because I know he's yours, and I know he's the mascot for Slugger City Bully Buddies, but when we were doing the Easter parade on Frankfort Avenue, he was kissing all over me, and I love him.
Well, there are plenty of dogs like him available at Louisville Metro Animal Services.
Yes, there are.
Every single month. And also, Derby City Dog Rescue has wonderful adoptable dogs.
We've had them on.
Yeah, most of which they have pulled from Louisville Metro Animal Services. especially the bully breeds like this
Yes.
and pit bulls, and in particular black ones.
Yes.
I don't really understand that. Black cats and black dogs are my favorite, but they just for some reason don't get the most attention at the shelters.
Well, my understanding is that black dogs fade into the crate, so they are less visible. Hi, baby. How are you? Oh, come on. He can come up because then maybe they'll actually be able to see him against my red sweater. Look at this big boy. He is so vicious. I don't know how anybody would ever want a
very
pit bull.
vicious, yes.
He is so vicious. I love him. You know, what I
you
love
sit?
about him is his personality is just all over the place.
He has a very big personality. He's a very happy dog. He came that way, but we have done a lot of training. And
You're doing great with the treats, too.
Slugger City Bully Buddies, we do have free weekly training classes for owners or fosters of bully breed dogs, we use humane, force-free training methods.
Oh, good. That's what we want to know.
With all positive base reinforcement.
This is why they say never appear with kids or dogs. But you know
dogs.
what? I find it to be the most entertaining of all.
boy.
His little head is so beautiful. Well, his big head is so beautiful, but the way he tilts it is so wonderful. And Caroline, you guys at Slugger City Bully Buddies have a tremendous affinity for taking dogs that have really gotten the proverbial bad rap,
Right.
and shown the public with these force-free training methods how they can become wonderful domesticated animals like every other dog and every other cat.
Yes, and one of our new sayings is that strong dogs don't require a strong arm.
Aha.
And that's one of our missions right now, is to try to educate the public about training dogs, that just because they're stronger than other dogs, they don't need methods based on negative reinforcement,
Right.
or force-based methods. And we think that training that does use those methods continues to give them a bad rap.
Yes.
If you see dogs, pit bull being walked down the street on a pinch collar or prong collar, and that's something that we're trying to get away from, and that's part of our advocacy, is to teach people that there are ways to train them without using force.
Well, I'm going to have to bring Wyatt to one of those non-force classes because he's not even a bully breed. He's just a shepherd husky mix, and he is as strong as an ox.
Right.
And when I put Brady, Wyatt, Gracie, Haley, and Emma all on leash in front of me, I've got about 280 pounds of dog pulling me.
Right,
So I
right.
obviously can use that. When are these classes offered, Caroline?
They are every Wednesday, and we've just moved to the Shelby Park Community Center.
Good.
Which is right off of East Oak.
Yes.
In downtown Louisville.
Wonderful.
And
Great central location.
Yes, and they're at 6. They start at 6:45 and
Okay.
they run to 7:45. It's an hour-long class, and we have a certified trainer who is teaching the classes, and lots of volunteers who are well-versed in positive reinforcement training.
What can people do who want to reach out to you right now and help dogs like Sirius Lee Black and other Slugger City Bully Buddies?
Well, right now we're doing a couple of fundraisers. We have one coming up on April 22nd at Selena's at Willow Lake Tavern.
Oh, good. That's great food.
That's going to be our big fundraiser. You can come and eat there for lunch or dinner. And Selena's is graciously donating a part of the house take to Slugger City Bully Buddies. We also have auction items that will be available there.
Good.
We're still soliciting auction items, so if there's any people out there who have a local business that would like to donate an auction item, we would love that.
That's great.
So you can email us at info@sluggercitybullybuddies.org. And then also we will be having a big event coming up June 1st at the Harley-Davidson on Arthur Street. It's called Bullies in Chrome, just promoting bully breed dogs, and Harley-Davidson has just been really great. They've been great supporters of us in
I love
Louisville
that.
Metro.
I love that.
And so we just threw the chrome in too. And we'll have lots of neat things going on then. That will be from 9 to 7 on June 1st. Again at Harley-Davidson. And then in October, we have a big event called the Canine Games,
Yes, those are fun.
where we have lots of different events going on. We have some competitions and silly games that dogs can compete in, like the Clean Play Club, things like that.
I love that. That's fantastic. Now, Caroline, just about you for a moment. You have a whole other career as an attorney.
I do.
And I want to know how you balance the practice of law with the practice of rescuing dogs, because you put so much effort and time into what you do, and I see it on Facebook constantly.
It's very difficult. I try as hard as I can. I'm an attorney.
Do you need a drink of water? I haven't even touched this yet. Go ahead. You are an attorney, and there it is. There's the biggest boy in the whole world right there, Seriously Black. Go ahead.
I'm a plaintiff's attorney specializing in personal injury work. And so I have that bend towards helping pretty much anything or anybody that needs help. And I think that's how that's part of what got me into the animal
how you got to the
rescue.
dogs, because who needs our help more than our four-legged friends who literally have no voice unless they bark. But this guy is so perfect as a representative for you, because he's not only huge and beautiful and strong, but he's also got that natural personality, that inquisitiveness. His little ears are perked up. He's got that little smile on his face, and he's a beautifully trained animal. How old is Sirius?
I think he's about 2.
About 2 years old. Here, take another slug of water. It's okay. I think it's the seasonal allergies. Are you guys feeling a little choky too? Yeah, the singer is also feeling that. Rachel can really relate to you, so it's okay. You can cough. We don't even have cough switches. It's not a big deal. It's totally natural. We like to actually go with the flow on Take It From Tara, whether the dog is climbing up on me or you're choking to death or the singer suddenly loses her voice. We'll just keep on going. It's okay. So, Caroline, a couple of other things that we want to talk about. Slugger City Bully Buddies has a website, which we can send people to take a look at.
Yes. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
It's okay. It's probably sluggercitybulliebuddies.com. I'm just going to guess.
.org.
But it also is on Facebook. And if you look it up, they have a great Facebook page, lots of pictures. And Sirius is going to walk around and he's going to see the microphones. Kathy, can you see him on our camera at all? Good. I didn't know if he was so dark he was blending into the background, but he probably weighs about 90 pounds?
No.
80? He looks muscular.
65.
65? Yes, he says, I do weigh 65. Here he comes again.
Yes, you do.
I tell you what, I don't know. I think he would get along very well with my puppy pack, especially Brady.
He gets along with every dog.
He looks like he would have no issue. And he was walking down the Frankfurt Avenue Easter Parade route with a half a dozen dogs, and he seemed to love them all.
Oh, he loves them all.
I love that.
He loves parades.
That's really, and he did very well as one of the mascots in the parade. So I'm very grateful for you bringing him in and spending some time talking to us. Again, the events are all listed on Facebook. You can go to Slugger City Bully Buddies. And one of the key things about Slugger City is they do pull a lot of their rescues from Louisville Metro Animal Services. And Caroline, I know you work closely with Justin Scally and Margaret Brosco and the team at Louisville Metro Animal Services to make that happen. And I also am encouraged by the fact that you guys are pulling so many animals.
We're actually not a rescue. We focus just on advocacy, education, and training. And here's my very horribly trained dog right now.
He is not. He just knows he's going to get a treat.
Yeah, we're not actually a rescue. We are an advocacy group.
Gotcha.
But we do work closely with rescues like Derby City Dog Rescue, Tyson's Chance.
Yes, love Ashley.
Some of the other, she's wonderful. Some of the other rescue groups, and directly with Louisville Metro Animal Services to help get those dogs out.
And that's the whole key, is we want to save as many lives as we possibly can. And I know that that's Justin's goal as well, to get to a no-kill rate as quickly as we possibly can. So we thank you so much for bringing just beautiful, gorgeous, glorious Sirius. He knows his name. Come give me a kiss. I love you so much. Will you come back and visit me again? Yes, he says I will. Oh, look at those. I love being kissed. He's got the whitest teeth. Oh, he's so beautiful. He's just got a little bit of white on his chest. Come on. But it was a joy to have you. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy workday and your animal advocacy to share with all of us.
Thank you for having us.
Our
we really
pleasure.
Appreciate it.
That's our goal here at Take It From Tara, is to give voices to as many of the rescues and advocacy agencies as we possibly can. So thanks for being in. Caroline Kaufman, Slugger City Bully Buddies. Look on Facebook. Check out the website at .org and find all the pictures of Sirius Lee Black when we post this show to YouTube, giving me lots and lots of kisses. There are many more like him who could use a home home, foster, adopt, do whatever you can to take dogs into your home and into your lives, even if it's for a short period of time, just to help them get acclimated to a new home. Thank you, Caroline Kaufman.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you so much. Okay, guys, I'm ready to hear from Rachel and Jonathan, and this is going to be one of their featured spotlight songs. So take it away. You've got about 3 minutes to sing and play. What are you going to do for us?
All right, this is going to be called Honey, Honey.
I love that, and I actually have seen this on your Facebook page. Let's go for it, Rachel and Jonathan.
All right. Honey, 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 I got a case of the blues. Honey, 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 tell me what can I do? Oh, there's not a thing in the world that could make me feel better than you. I remember when you kissed me, you made me swoon. 12 o'clock, I gave you my heart. You were the one that blew away all the hurt that I knew. Knew that you were the arms I could run to. I can see it in your eyes, the way that I catch your eye. I can tell from the way we've been walking, from the way you've been sighing. You make me feel so alive. Every day it gets better. Honey, 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 I got a case of the blues. Honey, 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 tell me what can I do? There's not a thing in the world that can make me feel better than you.
I like it. Rachel Monroe with accompaniment from Jonathan Mitchell. Beautifully done. She's got a promising career, doesn't she, Andy?
Outstanding.
I know. I love
22.
that. Isn't that amazing?
I have a corn that's 22.
Which toe?
Yeah, the little toe. That little piggy that went wee, wee, wee. That's excellent. You guys are awesome.
You guys are excellent. I love that. Did you write that?
Yes, I wrote that.
Okay, so she's a singer-songwriter.
Okay, I mean,
It further puts your corn to shame.
hey, it's 22 years old. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm getting a corn pad.
Oh, that was just
No, it
really
was
nice.
awesome.
I like that very much. Andy, so good to see you today. We had a lovely bagel earlier this morning at Nancy's Bagel Grounds on
Yeah,
Frankfurt Avenue.
It was delicious.
Yes, it was. And we chatted a little bit about what you have been doing since 1984. And amazingly, at your young age of 37, you have been a fabulous commercial real estate developer, and
Yeah.
Frankfurt Avenue, Bardstown Road, and Butchertown are all your domain.
That's my, if you can throw a blanket over it,
Yes.
and I can hop on my bike and ride it, then I will try to control all the real estate in that area.
I love that. Control the real estate.
Control it all.
Exactly. And one of the things that I have noticed about Frankfurt Avenue, especially, and Bardstown Road to an extent, but really Butchertown, is how many changes have taken place
it's
since
wild.
1984. It's just unreal, because
Oh,
that's
it's
when I
wild.
came to Louisville, 1983.
Now, where did you come from?
I came from Portland, Oregon.
Oh, we're so glad we
And
have
then
you.
the next year I was Miss Louisville, and you jokingly said your corn was Miss Louisville. or
No,
something.
no, I didn't. I said that I started my real estate career because you
I
became
was
Miss Louisville.
Yes, I understand that. So tell me about what it was like back then when you started first acquiring properties in this area. It was fairly desolate.
Well, it was a lot different. There's been such great energy
Yes.
here, and there's just such a great food scene
Yes.
on Frankfurt Avenue and Bardstown Road and Butchertown. But, you know, Butchertown's been an emerging neighborhood for 40 years.
That's right.
So, I mean, it's going to happen one of these days. But really, it's sort of like moved on to the next generation.
Yes.
And there's so much talent here. I mean, like these guys. And
Isn't that amazing?
There's so much food talent here.
Yes.
And that, you know, I think we're one of the best, you know, restaurant areas and food areas in the country. And we support that because I eat out every night.
Absolutely.
And it's
I see you
just
often
for
at
the
Sapporo
economy.
having sushi with
I
your
love that.
babies.
That's right. We love that place.
I know.
But it's just such great places and such great talent. So, and I've been able to help facilitate, you know, some of those great restaurants. Like on Frankfurt Avenue, we did the Red Lounge way back when.
Yes,
Now,
lot of
which
fun.
is Vernaise.
Yes.
Which is fabulous.
Love
and
it.
he's done an awesome job. So I actually, when I got that was a filling station.
A gas station, I remember.
It was, and a fix-it place.
Yeah, car repair.
Yeah.
I actually
Winning
had my
Colors or
car
Winning
repaired there
Formula.
once. Yeah, isn't that funny?
He lanced my corn.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
He lanced my corn. Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. Sorry. No,
The singers are planning their next piece of music. It's okay. They're a little off in their own little world.
It was a gas station basically, and then we turned it into, you know, it was the original Gulf station in 1916.
Isn't that amazing?
And I have pictures from that. So
Right at the railroad.
Right at the railroad. And that
Amazing.
railroad's always been there.
You know what I love? One of the things that you've done that I love so much is the Butchertown Marketplace.
Oh, thank you.
And especially Work the Metal. Now, Will Heiser has taken me in to Work the Metal.
Great hair.
He does have great hair, doesn't he?
It is awesome.
He is the most beautiful boy I think I've ever known.
He loves Work the Metal, and we love having him
Yeah.
in there.
So
and he has more friends. He's just
He does.
Mr. You know, I'm going to get you a gift.
Yeah, and he's
He
wonderful.
doesn't
And
even have to know you that well.
I know. He doesn't really know me that well, and he buys me things at Work the Metal all the time. No,
That's awesome.
Work the Metal is an awesome store, and the whole Butchertown Marketplace is full of great opportunities for people. Talk to us a little bit about the renovation of that big building.
Well, I bought it from Caudell Seed.
Yes.
And so there were 5 employees there.
Wow.
And when I was looking at the building, like I looked at it 6 or 7 times, and a guy, they had this one office, and it had the furnace in it, like the actual furnace.
The actual
And so
furnace
guy
in
goes,
the office.
Psst, psst. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, are you thinking about buying this building? And I said, yeah. And he said, do you have people that work for you? And I said, yeah. And he says, do you have anybody you don't like that works for you? And I said, yeah. He said, put
him in this office.
And then I thought, and I left, and I thought, does this guy realize they hate him? You know, it's like, do you even realize
He's in
that?
the office.
You're in the hell office. And, you know, do you have anybody you hate? I have lots of people I hate. I might put 2 people in.
all
We
in
might
there.
put a partition. So that's what he told me. So I thought that was
Man.
funny. But we were able to get that, and it's 85,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's huge.
And when I bought the building, my dad, who was the greatest real estate guy, Bert Bleeden, the greatest
love
real
Bert.
estate guy in the world,
Yep.
and just the greatest salesman in the world, I called him up and I said, I have fallen in love with this building. And he said, well, tell me about it. And I said, well, it's 85,000 square feet. He said, does it have any heat and air? I said, it has a furnace in one of the offices, but no air conditioning. And he says, okay. He said, does it have any parking? And I said, no, it doesn't really have any parking. He says, tell me what else about it. I said, well, it kind of needs to be gutted and redone. And he said, 85,000 square feet's a lot. He said, anything else? I said, it's across the street from a pig slaughterhouse.
Sounds ideal to me.
And he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, Andy, have you already bought it? And I said, yes. And he said, I love it. I love it. And he did.
What is
he
the
was
answer at that point?
Right, it was great. I mean, he's Mr. Positive, you know. And it was so he always taught me, you know, the great Wayne Gretzky quote, I never made a shot I didn't take.
Exactly. That's
Which
right.
is my favorite, you know, my favorite quote. My other favorite quote is don't panic.
Yes.
And
Well,
those
there
two
you go.
go because after you pull the
just
trigger on
bought
an
it.
idiot move, you can't panic, you know? But we have so we have Work the Metal, which is Jack Mathis, which is just such a brilliant retailer. And then we
Yes.
have Cellar Door Chocolate, and they make all their own
Delicious.
chocolates there, and it's awesome.
Yes.
And we have Moss Hill, and they make their own soaps and candles. And then we have Bourbon Barrel Foods, which is Matt Jamie, and
Love
he
that.
is just a wild man. And he came in. He came into me like 6 years ago, and he said, I'm looking for a place to microbrew soy sauce. And I said, that is so weird because we're looking for a microbrewer soy sauce. And he said, really? And I said, I don't know what the hell you just said. I'm just a slut when it comes to leasing space. Oh, no. Right.
Thank God you're honest. That's all I can say.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm not, there's no window dressing with
Sure.
me. It's just, that's how it is.
You're a big biker, big runner.
Yes.
Absolutely love the neighborhood. We see you out in
It's
it
the
all the time.
greatest.
And you also
It's heaven.
you also expressed to me at Nancy that you had one wish that you would like to share on this radio show about the way people treat each other. Share
People
that.
need to be nice to each other.
Okay.
Even when it comes to making money.
Yeah.
Daggone it.
Yeah.
Now, I might just hug everybody.
You
in here.
should, daggone it. People really like
If
you.
my corn didn't hurt so bad, I would hop up there. But no, people need to be nice. You just got to think, am I being loving? Am I being tolerant? It's sort of like what you do with the dogs,
I love dogs.
I know. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's like, we need to be nicer to each other.
Thank you for sharing that
Sure.
with us today. And it was great to have you here on Take
Well,
It From
thank
Tara.
you.
You can come back anytime and share more corn
I
stories.
might not leave.
You just might not. You might
I'm
just hang
just
out.
going to lay down there, and I brought my bedroll and some beans.
And a flat tire that you have to go repair.
My bike
High
tire.
five. Thank you,
you.
Andy
Thanks for letting me
Bladen.
on.
Wonderful treat. And we'd like to hear a little bit more from you two. Are you ready to give us a snippet of another song while we get another guest in here?
Yeah.
What are we going to hear?
This is actually from me and Jonathan are in a band together
Yes.
called Nelly Pearl.
Okay.
And this is one of the songs that we do. So
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Rachel and Jonathan. Thank you.
My words seem so different when they come from your lips. And how many chances does one human get? It's all your fault that you're shattered to bits. You don't call on me. You don't
Beautiful. Rachel Monroe and Jonathan Mitchell. You got a couple of performers right here, by the way. This is Catherine Furrow and Herschel Zond, and they were my musical guests just a few weeks ago.
I went to high school with Herschel.
Oh, that is too...
Seymour, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's probably
There we go.
it's probably been since high school. Since
Yeah,
I
probably.
love that. And Rachel's still in high school, so that's a... just kidding. She's 22.
hope
She's
not.
no,
I thought I recognized him, but with a name like Herschel's on,
Yeah,
you don't get
it's-
far.
Yeah.
in about 10
Few and far
years, you're going to
between.
hope everybody thinks that you're still in high school. Let me just promise
Oh,
you.
I'm fine with it.
Yes, that's
People come and say, yeah.
Embrace it,
With
sister.
a beautiful face
Indeed.
like that, she can't go wrong, especially at 22. Well, Catherine and Herschel, thank you for not only coming back to talk about your movie, but for volunteering to once again return in another time and be my musical guest again, because
It's
I
always a
love
pleasure.
you guys.
We had so much fun last time. We really did.
We did too, and Rachel recognized you immediately from a place of our previous employment where you guys used to perform,
Yep.
Lynn's Paradise Cafe. So very, very nice that you guys could be here with us today. I have
It's
had
a small world.
it
It
is.
is.
I had the privilege of working with these two outstanding filmmakers just this last week, creating an investor reel for a campaign that you guys are going to do to raise funds to help to pay people to be a part of your movie. Now, that's a switch.
Yeah.
Because most people in this town, when they want to make a movie, say, we need tons and tons of actors and we're not paying anybody anything. You guys
come
are
up
actually,
anyway.
Yeah, to come
you
up any-
guys are going to actually try to pay people something to make it worth their while. Talk to us a little bit briefly before we start, Catherine, about this particular film, Breath of Heaven, how it became a reality and how it's gone from what was going to be a stage play to a novel to now a screenplay.
I have to give a shout out really quickly. We got
Yes.
some people watching us streaming. Our friends that from London that I told you
Oh,
about last
yes,
time.
good.
Trish and Paul. Hello, guys. We love
Hello.
you.
10
They-
o'clock over there?
Yeah, they were contributing. They contributed to our last campaign, so I wanted
love
to give them
it.
a shout out.
Trish and Paul.
Yeah. So this story came to me when I was about 16 years old. I went on vacation with my parents and went on one of those tours in New Orleans and got this crazy idea. And I heard these voices and these names, and I asked people, was this a real family around here? And my father, who was a photographer, said, I'm going to buy you a journal. I'm going to go take pictures in the French Quarter, and you write.
Wow, and you did.
So I did, and I penned what is now the first 5/8 of the feature screenplay.
Fantastic.
And put it away and brought it back out again. And it was originally a stage play, and that's where this guy kind of comes in. You can tell them where you picked up.
She was working on it for a possible stage production and asked me to take a look at the dialogue. And I sat down and read it with her, and she asked me what I thought. And I said, well, it works really well as a stage play, but it's really a movie.
Yeah, it's a feature film.
It's got so much depth and breadth and everything. And it at that time didn't even have a title. So we started working together on it, and she did a little more writing, and I was pushing her and prodding her. And then we just got it together, and it's become a tour de force.
Yes, it's a phenomenon, if you
Briefly,
will.
while we look at some of the pictures, and Kathy actually is going to show just a few of the stills that you guys took, and the chemistry between the characters is so beautiful. And you are you're the best friend of this couple, Herschel.
Yes.
And so you get involved in the life of the character, the one that you portray. So you two are the primary actors in this movie, but you're also directing yourself. How's that going?
It's a scary thing, but and I hope I've risen to the challenge, but it's been great to have great material to work from as a director with
Yes.
Catherine as the writer, and then having an acting partner as competent and as incredible as she is.
Yes.
It makes it even more of a joy to focus on the technical elements and be able to do that, and then know that when it's time to come to the acting, it's there, it's solid, and there's no question.
Give us a quick synopsis, Catherine.
Very quick synopsis of the feature.
Yes, you
okay.
may.
Wow. Phew. Okay. So basically, it's a. I know I'm so excited about it. It is a love triangle between three friends, but it
Sure.
really focuses on different kinds of love. Eventually, the couple, the gentleman who plays my husband in the film, we have a baby together, and so there's that kind of essence of love and how these lives from youth, from their teenage years all the way through having children and going through that experience and moving to a different city in the time of really society and propriety, and it's set in 1853.
Exactly.
So it's a totally different role for women, totally different role for a friendship between a man and a woman.
Sure.
And basically the story is set around those different levels of love and how these three people work through the
And
stress
change,
that they're
how
under
their
and the
lives
change. Yeah.
over the period of time.
Wonderful. And you guys are filming in beautifully historic places like the Culbertson Mansion in New Albany and the Culbertson Mansion in Louisville.
Yeah.
That
Keeping
is-
it in the
that
family.
is the
right?
whole- Yeah, we have a story that is set in New York and in New Orleans, and being independent filmmakers and what I like to call micro-budget filmmakers,
Yes.
we needed locations local that could double for that. And the wonderful thing about the Culbertson Mansion in New Albany is it is set in that very French style
Very
that
New
makes
Orleans.
for New Orleans, and there's even a giant magnolia tree in the backyard.
Isn't that amazing?
And then
the New York
you
look
come over,
is
you
right
come over to
across the
Old
river.
Louisville, and it's a city that was built at the same time Old New York was built. So the architecture and the structure of the cities and streets, it works, and
Fantastic.
the interiors are gorgeous in both of these locations. They've been so meticulously, especially the Culbertson New Albany, has just been so meticulously restored.
Yes, it has.
To its grandeur. It's just remarkable. And if you haven't been down there, you need to get down there.
Well,
to see
when
the
we
museum.
were doing the interviews the other day for the Investor Reel, which was so great, and I'm so grateful that you allowed me to be a part of
Oh,
it because
thank
it was
you.
so exciting to work with you guys. I felt like Baba Wawa interviewing
You did a great job.
Susan Sarandon and Tim Wubbins. But God, I hope she's not listening.
Yeah.
Barbara, you're my hero. I love you. Just in case you're listening to Crescent Hill Radio. So talk to me a little bit about the entertainment company that you guys have and your whole mission and commitment to independent film, because I think that's something that's just extraordinary.
Sure. Well, the company is called FYL Entertainment, For Your Life Entertainment.
I like it.
And it started as the combining of our two educational companies. I have the Acting for Your Life program.
Right.
Herschel had Film Aspire. We have two great podcasts and tours that we actually do with these workshops. And so FYL Entertainment became the umbrella for that. And then we also produce so much together that it just
Stage,
didn't
commercial,
everything.
film, whatever.
We needed to
comes our way.
roll it under one company.
Yes.
So the whole idea behind FYL Entertainment is to keep things, not only to keep things local and regional, but also to give sustainable opportunities to artists that live in these areas
Love
where
that.
you can actually, they might not be able to make a living wage on one of our projects. However, they will be paid for their work and their time and their artistry.
Very good.
So yeah, that's kind of the main purpose and the goal.
That's the big key. And you also have several partners in this project that you wanted to give shout outs to who are
Absolutely.
really important to give acknowledgement to.
We have to give a shout out to, first of all, Thoughtful Grip and Lighting, who are in Butchertown also. New group. If you are an independent filmmaker or any kind of a filmmaker, industrials, commercials, narrative film, whatever, they can hook you up. So look those guys up. Joe and Duncan, they did all the tech work for the Investor Reel, and it is just phenomenal. It's been a pleasure to work with them. And
Extreme Media,
Extreme
Lisa
Media.
Siebert.
And the two Culbertson mansions.
And the two
Yes.
Culbertson
Hey, are
mansions.
the families related? Are they the same
They are.
family?
They're brothers, I believe.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that funny?
One in the south and one in the north.
And the state of Indiana, the state of Kentucky, Crescent Hill Radio. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
We're happy. happy.
And the wonderful thing about this project is we do have partners here in the region. We have partners in Los Angeles. We have partners in Australia that have been just all over the world.
Who are
People
listening, by the way. Hi,
Yes.
guys.
We
and
love you.
investors in London.
Yes.
Yes.
we do.
Yeah, and it's become out of a grassroots, Kentuckiana film, this global thing that people are coming together, and that's what's so great about the crowdfunding platforms that we are using to finance the film.
Talk to us quickly about Indiegogo, because this is a really cool thing.
Sure, it's a great. It's called crowdfunding, and it basically means that anybody can give what they can give. So anywhere from, like we said on the reel the other day, from $1 to $1,000 or
a
$1 million.
million.
Yeah,
If you have $1 million,
but any denomination,
Yeah.
and they can give and support. And what I love about this and this particular project, and the fact that we are pulling globally with this support, is that there are artists just like us around the world who might feel like they don't live in New York or LA. They don't live
That's
in
right.
Hollywood. They don't live someplace where they feel like they could do something like this. And the world is really coming together to make this happen. So people can go to Indiegogo.com. Breath of Heaven is the project, and they can choose to give what they can. And even if it's just a thumbs up of support, we appreciate it.
And Catherine Furrow and Herschel Zahn's Facebook pages are going to be blowing up with the excitement over Breath of Heaven. You're probably going to see it being filmed, actually, on
Yes.
location in Louisville and in New Albany. So
Come
keep an
September.
eye out for those film
right.
crews coming up this fall, and we're going to keep up with them, and they're going to be back as musical guests on the show as well.
Yay.
So thanks so much, guys, for coming in. Great to see you,
Thank
Catherine
you.
and
Good to see
Herschel.
you.
Breath of Heaven coming your way to the big screen very soon. We want to remind you about our Crescent Hill Radio fundraiser, which is going to happen April 28th. It's going to be 4 to 10 p.m. at Expo 5, and you can join Crescent Hill Radio right now for $25 and get a free admission ticket. Take it right away. Take up the opportunity. Go to CrescentHillRadio.com. Click on the Join Now button, and you will be a member for $25 for the year. And if you don't do that, you're going to have to pay to get into the fundraiser, but it's a very small amount of money. So come on out anyway. So 4 to 10 p.m., April the 28th. That's the Sunday before Derby. So please keep it on your calendar and get ready to celebrate with us. Great bands are going to be playing throughout the night at Expo 5, and we encourage you to go to our Facebook page and CrescentHillRadio.com, our website, to see more about the wonderful Crescent Hill Radio pre-Derby kickoff. It's going to be a blast. We want you to be there to help raise funds for Crescent Hill Radio. All right, guys, give us about a minute of music while we switch guests, because we're going to be talking about the Mighty Earth Day Hoot. What are you going to play this time?
Actually, we can we do this cover of Kings of Leon song.
Oh, let's do that. I love the
Oh,
Kings of
yeah.
Leon. Ready? Jonathan Mitchell, Rachel Monroe.
I don't care what nobody says, we're
had a lover. Always mad and usually drunk, but I love her like no other. And the doctors seem to think they don't know where we're gonna go. I'm a ghost and I don't think I quite know where we're gonna go. Where we're gonna go. Where we're gonna go. Where we're gonna go. Where I'm going.
Beautiful, Jonathan Mitchell and Rachel Monroe. So glad to have you guys with us as our musical guest tonight. We're going to talk a little bit now about the Mighty Earth Day Hoot with Angela Impellizzeri. Thanks for taking time to come in.
Hey, well, thank you for having me on Crescent Hill Radio.
We love you guys at Mighty Earth Day Hoot, and actually a lot of us who work here at Crescent Hill Radio are going to be part of the festivities because we're going to have a booth set up.
That's right.
And it's coming up this Saturday.
That's right, from noon to 6 at Waterfront Park at the Brown-Forman Amphitheater.
We're going to hope for good weather.
Oh, I think it's going to be really nice.
I hope so.
I think the sprinkles are going to hold off, and there's going to be lots of sparkling water, and it's going to be really great.
All right, Angie, give us a general idea of what to expect when we attend the Mighty Earth Day Hoot.
Well, the Earth Day Hoot is a Mighty Kindness organization. We are a nonprofit, and it's a community unity festival. So basically, anything that's kind to the earth, that is friendly to the community and sustainable is going to be represented there. There's going to be local food vendors, some of the food trucks that you've seen around at a lot of different events. They're going to be there. We're going to have the Brick House, and if you actually ride your bike down to the waterfront, they're going to have free valet parking for your bike, so your bike will be attended and watched after, so you don't have to worry about that.
Speaking of food trucks, I'm going to talk about those after this, too.
Oh,
that's
wonderful.
pretty cool.
Wonderful.
I love the food truck industry in our town.
Oh, it's great.
Little cheesers.
They just kind of show up and
they're
you can
just
eat.
you just come. It's like having a mobile restaurant on. It's so cool to be able to just get whatever you want, and there's so many different varieties right now.
Right, there is, and our focus is certainly on the local folks.
Sure.
And, the vegan trucks, the vegetarian trucks, and
Yes.
you name it, they're going to be out there.
So, what does it take to get to the Mighty Earth Day Hoot? Is there an admission charge? Do we have to have a badge? What are we going to do?
No, there's no pin involved. There's no ticket. Basically, you just show up and you're totally welcome. There's going to be music all day, starting at noon. Again, it runs noon to 6. Alana Fugate's going to be there.
Good.
I brought my cheat sheet
Yes,
here,
use
so I
your
made
cheat
sure.
sheet, please.
We have the Sandpaper Dolls, the Quiet Hollers, Whiskey Bent Valley Boys, the Dirty Church Revival. Butch Rice is going to be out there.
Love it.
And the Toonsmiths are also going to be out there.
So it's really all day music. It's from 12 to 6, correct?
From 12 to 6. And if you go out to mightykindness.org, you can see a total lineup of all of the musicians, when they're going to be placed, so you can make sure to hit those guys.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. I can't wait to get down there myself, and we are looking forward to it. The whole idea, obviously, as you said, is to encourage sustainability. So there are going to be people there who are giving attendees an idea of how their lives can become more sustainable as well.
That's right. There's going to be workshops all throughout the day, starting, I believe, at 12:30. And again, those are all posted online. But we're really excited to also have Janine Wishy to come out and also
Love it.
give one of her fabulous seminars on, I guess, gardening.
She's tremendous. Well, she knows everything. She knows about
really
trees and
does.
plants and gardens and grass and you name it.
There's going to be workshops on how to become an activist, how to start maybe your child in homeschooling, permaculture. The Kentucky Bioneers are going to be out there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, some really great folks coming out. There's also going to be local artisans selling their wares and doing that sort of thing.
Very exciting. So Angela Impellizzeri is here for the Mighty Earth Day Hoot. You can find out more online. There's also a Facebook page for the Mighty Earth Day Hoot. But go to
mightykindness.org
to find out more information. And please join us this Saturday. It's at Waterfront Park from 12 to 6.
From 12 to 6 at the
No
Brown
admission.
Foreman. No admission. So as you're walking the Big Four Bridge, you'll be able to see the hoot. There's also going to be a fabulous spirit walk that will also help to infuse you with all kinds of love and kindness. And
I love it.
That's what it's really about.
That's the whole idea of Mighty Kindness.
the whole show has been about, kindness, and Andy mentioned about being
Be kind to
and
each other.
sustainable,
And Sirius Black was very kind.
the
when he
bully
kissed and
buddies,
kissed and kissed
yeah,
me. I love it.
we hope that, and dogs are welcome. It is
Good.
at the waterfront, so anything that goes on the waterfront is certainly welcome. And we just ask that you bring a bag.
Pick up bags. Good for you. Angela Pellizzeri for the Mighty Earth Day Hoot. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, and that's mightykindness.org.
We appreciate it. MightyKindness.org or the Mighty Earth Day Hoot on Facebook. We also want to thank our fantastic sponsors, Tammy and Tabby Lewis Conti, because once again, they have sponsored Take It From Tara for the past month, but they have put their effort and time into promoting one of my favorite projects, which is An Act of Dog. Mark Baroni is one man who is painting 5,500 portraits of dogs who have died in shelters because we have not yet gotten the message that the no-kill system is going to be the one that's effective. And he is making a memorial museum called An Act of Dog. We want to thank Tammy and Tabby for having the foresight to sponsor them on Take It From Tara. Mark Baroni is on a mission. The artist is well on his way to painting the portraits of 5,500 dogs who have been euthanized in shelters across America, as a way to symbolize the number of dogs who lose their lives in shelters every single day. Mark and his partner Marina Durbin have dedicated their lives to creating An Act of Dog here at the Melwood Arts Center, and you are challenged to become part of the effort to make it a permanent installation as a memorial museum right here in Louisville. Find out how you can make a difference in the lives of shelter animals at anactofdog.org. Sponsored by Tammy and Tabby Lewis Conti. An Act of Dog, which I'm part of the team effort to try to keep them here in the Kentuckiana area. And I tell you what, it's a challenge because there's so many cities who want this memorial museum to be the host, and we don't want it to leave. We want it to stay right here. So we're working very hard to generate awareness, number one. And if you would go to anactofdog.org, you will see the project, you'll see the paintings, you'll see videos from the artist. Those are on YouTube as well. Mark and Marina working very hard to make everyone aware of An Act of Dog. And we really want to thank Tammy and Tabby Lewis Conti for being so wonderful to support them throughout their sponsorship of Take It From Tara. All right, Rachel, I'm ready to hear from you again. And by the way, what are you doing now?
I'm actually working at the fabulous Highland Coffee.
I love that.
Natalie's going to like this because I'm giving them a shout out. You should go there. Definitely.
Definitely. I love Highland Coffee.
Yeah. Just been doing some music around town. Been writing a lot. It's been kind of, transitioning period. Definitely. So
for many of us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Jonathan, what do you do full time, or are you just being Music Man?
I have been Music Man for a while. I bartend part-time as well.
All right. Excellent. What are you going to play for us now?
This is a newer one. It's called Homesick.
All right, let's hear it. Rachel Monroe, Jonathan Mitchell.
All we do is drink, 'cause drinking makes us forget the times we don't regret, forget that we're a part of this mess, forget that we feel, forget that we're real, really just homesick. We're living so quickly it takes somebody's hand. Take the long way home if you can. Take a fucking chance. And if it hurts, then you'll at least know that you did. 'Cause closing your eyes in the dark might make things seem like they are.
just won't fade. Life can begin when your life is hidden away. Oh, you forget that you feel. You forget that you're real. Really just homesick. You're living so quick. Really just homesick. I'm living so quick.
Beautiful song. Thank you. Is that one of your own original
Yes.
compositions?
I actually
That's
just wrote it last week.
Well,
so-
that's pretty good. It's amazing. And we really appreciate you guys coming in, spending your evening with us. And we want to thank a little play under music, please, if you would, Rachel or Jonathan, either one of you. Just a little.
I
Just a
got
little
this.
background.
Banjo, there we
Thanks
go.
to Rick Robinson, the author of Alligator Alley, and we're looking forward to the Mighty Kindness Earth Day Hoot coming up on Saturday, 12 to 6. We appreciate the talents and the extraordinary humor of Andy Bleeden. We also love talking to Catherine Furrow and Herschel Zond, our movie-making friends, and especially Slugger City, Bully Buddies, Caroline Kaufman, and the handsome and charming Sirius Lee Black. Next week, Linda Hillenbrand is going to be here to talk to us about her campaign to win Woman of the Year in the Man and Woman of the Year event, sponsored by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Her husband, Jim Hillenbrand, has been struggling with various types of leukemia and lymphoma, and we want to support her, and we want to give her a chance to tell you about this wonderful fundraising effort. Bombshell Cowboy is our musical guest. You're going to love Allison Bray and her great new musical partner, and Bev Lenhart's going to talk to us about how to get a mortgage in this day and time and what you can do to help our servicemen and women with supplies overseas. Looking forward to talking to Teresa about that fantastic organization, plus so much more. We'll see you next Monday, 5 o'clock, live on Take It From Tara.
Wow, it was fun.
So much going on in this town. We're so lucky to have an expert around. But when you need advice on what's really going down, take it from Tara. With so many choices, it ain't easy. Get the bang for your buck, give your dollar a squeezy. The girl's got the answer, you better believe me. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara.